Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, my throat's getting a little better, but it's still a little hoarse today. But yeah, we had some tragic news as a young woman has passed away returning to a cruise port from an MSC cruise ship. We also have the Tampa Bay cruise terminal and port is reopened, but there are some catches and it's still going to be affecting cruise ships in the near future as well. We also have a story coming from Carnival Cruise Line, and guess what it's about, folks? It's about the Punchline Comedy Club, but it's not what you think. It's not about the comedians. It's about privilege. So first off, the MSC Virtuoso was returning to Southamptom from a cruise terminal, from a cruise, when suddenly the alarm went out and a passenger overboard alarm went. The cruise ship immediately stopped, started doing its search, notified the Coast Guard, the French auxiliary, and multiple helicopters and ships were searching the area with infrared cameras, and they got the call shortly after 2 a.m. in the morning, and around 2:35 the person was located. Turns out it's a female passenger in her 20s, and they immediately scooped her out of the water and flew her to a hospital, but unfortunately was pronounced deceased upon arrival. No other real further details have come out, whether this is an accident, an intentional, etc., etc. Like I said, it is still very, very hard to fall off a cruise ship. So we'll have to wait for those reports. But condolences again to the friends and family on board. It's never a good thing. We had a string there where we had like 3 overboards in 3 weeks. And I was glad to see it slowing down. And then suddenly it hit one more time for the MSC Virtuoso. So condolences again go out to the families there. Next, let's talk about the Port of Tampa Bay. It is reopening, which is a good thing, but there are still restrictions involved. And those restrictions are that they cannot sail in dark hours. They have to sail during daylight hours only, going in and out of the port, which will greatly restrict. As you know, most cruise ships come in very early in the dark and are there when the sun comes up so you can start disembarking, or they'll leave early in the evening or late into the evening sometimes with later disembarkation, depending on how many cruise ships are in the terminal at the time. So yeah, it's going to affect a few more ships going forward for a little while until they get that all straightened out. But the good news is the port is back open, which means it's recovering from the damage, and they said they're giving priority to fuel vehicles, as well as vehicles with perishable goods on board, and finally cruise ships, and then all the other types of vessels after that. Fuel is needed to help the service vehicles get around, to clean up, get power started, police vehicles, evacuation vehicles that were used, fire department, etc. Fuel is needed for all of that stuff. And of course, perishable goods they want to get in, so we don't have a food shortage coming in Tampa Bay and Florida as well. And finally, the cruise ships to get people who are on board finally back home from their trip and back to their jobs, etc. So you can see the priorities and why they work it that way. Where if you have basically a container ship full of TVs, there's no real rush and panic to get that. Right? There's still TVs in the store, so I'm glad to see that Tampa Bay is opening one more time. Next, we have another Punchline Comedy Club incident. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the unfortunate circumstances when people go missing or things happen on the ships, to the fun things like the brand new shows that are on new ships and the new ships launching, like the Sun Princess, which I'm on right now, to things that you need to know, like your port being closed and you're not going to get on the ship today. Those kind of things. We'll try and keep you as best informed we can, and hopefully bring a smile to your face as much as often as possible. And again, it doesn't cost anything, but it really does help when you hit that subscribe button and even leave a like and a comment. And again, I really do appreciate it. Okay, John Hill once again got a message about the Punchline Comedy Club. This seems to be an ongoing issue. Hey, the comedian said this, or there was a drunk, rude passenger doing this, etc., etc. Well, guess what? That's not the complaint this time. It wasn't that the comedians were being rude. It wasn't that there was drunk guests trying to heckle the comedian. A person complained that saying that everybody over the height of 6 foot should be required to sit in the back of the comedy club. They already get everything in life anyway. Leave something for the short people. We should be allowed to sit in the front row. Now, Punchline Comedy Club is open seating, which means first come, first serve. You make a reservation and you go. If so, just like the theater here on the Sun Princess, if I wanted to see a show and I want to get to the front row, I got to be one of those first people in line. Otherwise, I'm not going to get my front row seat that I like to sit in. Same goes to the Punchline Comedy Club. This woman claims that she's 5'6", and she said she talked to the crew and asked to have a seat reserved for her in the front row because she's short. Well, actually, 5'6" is about 2.5 inches taller than the national average of females in the United States. So, in fact, she's actually a larger female person, taller, that is. But, again, she was upset that the carnival crew would not reserve her a front row seat, not because she had a hard time hearing or seeing or anything that's an actual physical impairment, but because she was a shorter person and wanted that front row seat. A simple solution. Get there early and get a front row seat. I know it's inconvenient. You would love to, like I would love to have my seat reserved in every venue I want to go in. I would love to be able to go to every cast member and say, you know what? Today I'm going to the Dome show. I want this seat, put my name on it and reserve it for me. And then I'm going to go over there to the Yes No game show and I want to sit right here. I want you to reserve this for it. Life doesn't work like that. We all know life doesn't work like that, but I guess some people don't. And to complain that you're too short to see, you know what? I'm not the tallest gentleman in the world. I'm under 6 foot tall. Lots of people are taller than me. I wish I was taller. I might have gone further in my hockey career. But, yeah, no, I know. Can you imagine if we had to start lining people up and then rearranging them in line and saying only people of this height can sit here, only people of this height can sit here, only people of this height can sit here? And there is a very easy way to solve all this. Just get to the dang show early. Let me know what you guys think. Is she being a little outrageous? I bet you can probably take what I feel. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.